So today I'm going to be talking about the movie Possum. It was really boring. I mean, it was really boring. I thought that it sounded really cool. It's about this guy who has this really grotesque puppet that he had made, and it like kind of haunts him, and he goes back to this house where he was abused by someone, and it's supposed to be a metaphor for trauma and how it affects us. Went into it really really wanting it to be good, but it was just so boring. I mean, so much of this movie was this dude just standing around with this look on his face. Just no dialogue, no music, just him standing around doing absolutely nothing. Now, I can appreciate art. I can appreciate the good old college try. You gotta give me something to work with here. I mean, the puppet was supposed to be like really creepy, and there's supposed to be some really creepy imagery. That was kind of what I was expecting from what I had heard about it. And there were a couple shots that were kind of cool, but I mean, this dude is just standing around the whole time. I can appreciate the metaphor, of the whole trauma thing, and when he ends up eventually, it's gonna be spoilers for like an 80-minute film that you're probably never gonna watch, and I I wouldn't waste your time really. But he finally goes and kills the dude at the end who was the one that ended up like abusing him. He was finally like, "It was me that abused you." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. You were like the only other person in the whole movie, and like the only times when there were dialogue was pretty much you being creepy and seeming like you were the one that abused him or whatever." I mean, even the scene at the end, it seemed like it was gonna get really graphic and disgusting. It seemed like he was really about to abuse him in a really bad way. And I'm not saying that a film has to have that, because of course it doesn't have to have that. But I was finally thinking maybe it was gonna go somewhere. Content warning. He pulls his pants down, and then he just smacks him on the butt with his belt a couple times. And I was just like, this is what all of this was leading to. I mean, a film does not have to be graphic or disgusting or tasteless or anything like that, but that's kind of what the purpose of the whole film was supposed to be, and it didn't really go anywhere with that. I felt like the score was really weak. There was like this really high pitched ring that was happening. It was almost like the centerpiece of the score. Maybe there's something that I'm missing here, but I just thought that it was kind of dull. And I was watching a video where someone compared it to Nosferatu, and they were saying it's kind of supposed to be like a silent movie. But Nosferatu is great. I mean, from the second that film starts, and every single shot is so planned so well, and it doesn't have to have noise. It really bugs me when people make art that I feel is kind of lazy in a sense, and they call it minimalist. And I feel like it's just a cop out. Minimalism doesn't mean laziness. And I felt like this film was kind of laziness masqueraded as minimalism. And I really don't like that, because there are plenty of films out there that are a slow burn, that people even I've even heard people say that Hereditary is boring. A slow burn can be enthralling and gripping from the moment it starts. And I know that not every film is going to be the best film that I've ever seen, but I mean, for the first 45 minutes of the movie, the dude just stood around and did nothing. He did nothing. And I get that he was like traumatized and he was like his inner child, but you gotta give me something to work with, man. I mean, it was it was really boring. There were a couple times where I was like, I'm gonna try to readjust my perspective. Maybe I'm just stoned. But then I'd be like, but I watched Dune last night and I was stoned. And that movie was twice as long. And there was not a single minute where I was bored or was wondering when it was going to be over or anything like that. And I know comparing Dune to a film, a little indie film, it's whatever, but I mean, it just really felt like there was nothing really going on at all. I get the metaphor about the trauma and all that, and in that sense it did well, and I think that it was effective, but there was just I don't really know what else to say, but there was just nothing going on. There are ways to make a film. The beginning doesn't have to be boring. Rising action can still be gripping, and you could set up characters and stuff. Pi by Darren Aronofsky was about as long as this film. It was, I think it was about 90 minutes, under 90 minutes. And Pi was made on like $15,000 or something like that. And every single second of that movie is enthralling and gripping. And so I don't know what else to say. It might not be very deep, but I didn't like it. I thought that it was really boring. And so if you want to watch a film where this happens a lot, then this is definitely the movie for you. If that is not what you're into, which I don't think is what most people are into, then I would definitely suggest skipping out on this one. I know that it sounds like a really cool idea. I thought that it looked personally terrifying, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed and got something out of it. I hope that you like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.